Hello and good morning. Today I'm joined by Sergio Cano, the CEO of JSC Ingenium, and today we're going to talk about the latest developments of the company, and this will be a very short interview. So that's just it, and let's just get started. So Sergio, JSC Ingenium has just appointed a new chief sales officer and created a new business unit focusing exclusively on MNO. So what's the reason for this change in strategy?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Victor. I would not really call it changing the strategy. I would call it rather an evolution of the company. We've been in the market for 26 years now. As part of the growth of the company, it is normal that the company evolves. So we have understood that the natural path, the next step that we should take is going into the MNO segment. As we have been working for many, many years with MVNOs, we've been very successful. And now I think due to the maturity of the company and due to the past evolution, we all understood that this was the right moment to step into this new segment. So when we challenged ourselves and said, "Hey, how are we going to do this?" There was a very clear statement from all the members of the board saying, "Okay, this is a different type of game. MNOs buy differently, operate differently, have different needs. So we have a lot of experience with MVNOs, and we have to leverage on that. But at the same time, we understand that we cannot apply the same rules, the same way of working, and the same elements that we have been using in the past with other types of customers. That's why we decided, okay, let's separate the business and let's create a specific team focused exclusively on MNOs. That's the best way we will be able to serve the special demands and special needs of MNOs.
Okay, I see. And can you tell me about the expectations that the JSC has for this new market, and what do you offer to the MNOs that they cannot find in the current market?
Well, we are living very interesting times. These are times of changes, of big changes, I would say, if we take into consideration 5G and everything that 5G brings along. So we see that it is essential to have the ability to adapt to this new situation, the ability to innovate as well, and not only I'm not only speaking about technical innovations, which of course are very important, but also in the business models and also in the different areas of the operation. So although some you could see JSC as new kids in the neighborhood, talking about MNOs, it is clear to us that we can leverage on our past experience and we can provide the MNOs with this experience and with the agility to serve the new demands of the MNOs. We think the game is going to change dramatically with 5G, as I said, with the sunset of the legacy networks, and with new ways of working, talking about containerization, talking about new technologies. So it's very important to have a very agile company that can really serve and that has a track record, a proven track record of success in the last years, as we do have. So I think we have a very important role to play as a new vendor, let's say, in the MNO segment, and we will be providing all the MNOs with our experience and new ideas and fresh ideas.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. But will the company also maintain its commitment to the MVNO, so the virtual network operators?
Yeah, sure. This new movement does not mean at all that we are going to abandon the MVNO segment. We've been working very hard for many years to build the position that we have. I would say that most MVNOs around the world know JSC or work with JSC, many of them. So it is something that we will definitely not abandon. We're very, very well known, and we must continue working in this space. In fact, we also detected in this analysis that we made that if we enter successfully the MNO segment, our other customers, our traditional customers, will benefit from that because of all the lessons that we learn with the MNOs will be probably applicable as well to the MVNOs, and they will benefit from a wider experience and bigger customers as the MNO are.
Well, that that sounds good. That sounds great. Um, Now let's talk about 5G. The convergence of 5G core and virtualization is being talked about as one of the biggest, if not the biggest disruptions the telecoms market has ever seen. Do you think that mobile operators are aware of that, and are they ready to make the leap?
You are right. You chose the word disruption. In one of our presentations, the claim was surviving the disruption. So many interesting things are going to happen. Because 5G is not only about 5G, it's also about containerization, the changes in the infrastructure, the changes in the radio, of course, the way the MNO operates, and the way the operator buys. So it's necessary to have a totally different mindset how to face all challenges. Because in fact, when we talk about 5G and we talk about all these technologies, there is a tremendous hype. Everybody's talking about that. But what we see in the market is that there is a kind of two-speed operators. Some of them are very aware, are very mature, considering the short time this has been in the market so far, and they are really ready to start working on a 5G SA, on a new network, on a new paradigm, let's say. But some of them, even if they are still eager to learn, to know, and to adopt, they have not yet started. So it's a kind of two-speed market where some of the operators are very well prepared, and some of them have not made yet the crucial decisions on the different about the different technologies they may use in the new deployments. So it's very important that all these operators make their own decisions and go ahead with the new infrastructure deployments. Otherwise, they will be, let's say, in a not so good position to compete with other operators in the market.
So if they decide not to take the leap, and then what would it mean in terms of cost if they weren't ready?
Well, probably if we talk about the cost, probably the cost will not be seen the very first day. Nothing will have happened. But in the midterm, the impact will be huge from all angles. They will be less efficient. It's very surprising. I saw the commercials of an MNO here in Spain, where I am now, announcing the launch of 5G. And the claim was not about the technology, was not about the speed, was not about the many fantastic features that 5G brings along. The claim was 90% less power consumption with this new network. So even at the power consumption level, which is something, let's say, well, this is secondary. We're talking about telecoms, services for the users, innovation, etc., etc. No, no, no. They are talking about something so basic as the electricity. um, it's also a huge improvement. So you ask me, what will be the cost? Well, as I say, the very first day, nothing will happen. Things go as normal, business as usual. But in the midterm, you will have a less efficient infrastructure, less efficient network, and a less flexible network. So progressively, you will undermine your P&L on one side and the new services to the users. You will not be able to keep the pace with the rest of the operators. So it's something that we will start seeing, in our opinion, in 1, 2 years from now, where some operators are well advanced and the others are still deciding what to do, which way shall we go. And this is something really unaffordable in a market like telecoms, because you need to have clear plans to adopt the new technologies and execute them. And you can execute faster or a little bit slower, doesn't matter. That's not so relevant, but you must make your plans and really execute.
Yeah, I understand. So, well, this is about the new network, 5G.
Mhm,
In the beginning of this interview, you already talked a little bit about legacy networks. You mentioned that.
mhm.
But how do you think the shutdown of legacy networks will impact the market?
Well, the shutdown of legacy networks has a very bright side. which is okay. We will be reusing the frequencies. We will be providing 5G services on this frequency. So we will be performing. Well, that's the good side of the story. The not so good side of the story that can generate a few headaches is that the sunset or the shutdown usually is not complete. First, in terms of geography, there are some areas of the countries that uh, shutting down 2G and 3G networks is not so affordable. That's a problem. And operators will keep, let's say, 5%, maybe maximum 10%, but it means that there will be legacy network still running there, and you have to maintain that and you have to operate that. So that will become a little bit of a headache, let's say. So when we saw this, we understood that okay, if the sunset is not going to be complete 100%, then we must be able to provide our customers with such a technology that can really cope with both networks, with the legacy network and the new network at the same time, using the same network functions. So simplifying the maintenance, the operation, because you have everything in a single node, dual phase node, let's say, or multi-phase node. I can serve from the same network function. I can face the 5G network at the same time. I am facing still the 2G network if I didn't shut it down. Okay, so that is how we approach to the shutdown of the legacy networks. Otherwise, we see that these smaller legacy networks that are still maintained can really become a burden for the MNOs, and they must be very conscious about this and have a specific strategy for that. It's not simply refarming the frequencies in the big cities, which is the
Mhm.
easy part, let's say.
Yeah, yeah. So strategy is very important here. Um, but how do you think the sector will evolve in the coming years? Not only about legacy networks, 5G, any other developments you see hanging over the market?
Yeah, well, we are seeing only the first chapter. If this was a Netflix series, I would say that this is the only the first episode of this story, because the speed of the changes is, in our opinion, is going to increase more and more every time. 5G standalone is the first step. Then we'll start to see slicing, network slicing, which in fact means many networks inside of single networks. And then we will see artificial intelligence assisting the network operation, because the automation and the power to handle multiple networks at the same time many times is beyond the capacity of the human operators, let's say. So they will need some help also with the technology. And the final step, in my opinion, will be the on-demand networks. Many people, companies, big enterprises will will be in a position to request their own network for their own company, for their own employees, for their own machines, probably. So all this will make that in a few years there will be a totally new ecosystem, much richer than it is nowadays, with multiple niche players in different areas, and in fact, as a result of this, with many new business opportunities for the MNOs, also for the vendors to innovate and add new things, and definitely for the users.
Yeah. So that sounds like there are good things to come. A lot of things
Yeah.
to discover, and well, a lot of innovations that are on their way. Well, this is all we currently have time for at this interview. So, Sergio, thank you very much for having the time with us here at Telecom Paper. If you if people have questions, they can probably reach out to you through the website or drop you an email. We'll provide the website and email address to everybody who's interested. So thank you again very much, and maybe we'll talk later. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much, Victor. Thank you so
Okay.
much. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Bye.